Sarah stands outside Blackthorn Manor, the Gothic structure looming with twisted vines creeping up the walls and a fog rolling in across the ground. As she approaches, the rusty iron gates slowly creak open, the sound echoing in the cold, misty air. The cobblestone path, worn and cracked, stretches before her, surrounded by gnarled, leafless trees. Inside, the dust-covered furniture lies untouched, with cobwebs hanging from the chandelier. She hears faint whispers carried by the draft from the dark corridors, making the silence unsettling. The ancient portraits on the walls seem to track her every move, their lifelike eyes glinting in the dim light. A sudden gust of air extinguishes her candle, plunging the room into complete darkness, except for faint moonlight filtering through broken windows. The old wooden floorboards creak under her feet as if something unseen is trailing her steps. In the grand library, scattered books and fluttering pages suggest someone or something has disturbed the room recently. The antique clock, covered in dust, begins to tick loudly, though its hands haven't moved for years. Staring into an old cracked mirror, Sarah sees a shadowy figure behind her. But when she turns around, the room is empty. Flickering shadows dance across the walls as she moves deeper into the house, the air growing colder with each step. A hidden door creaks open, revealing a narrow spiral staircase leading down into the cellar where a damp, musty odor rises. The stone walls of the passage feel damp as Sarah descends the stairs, her breath visible in the cold air. In the cellar, she finds an old dusty journal on a wooden table, and as she reads, she feels the room grow even colder. Strange symbols glow faintly on the cellar walls, pulsing with an otherworldly energy that fills the room. A chilling sensation grips her shoulder, as if invisible hands were reaching out from the shadows. Frightened, Sarah turns to flee, but the cellar door slams shut with a force that shakes the walls. Back in the grand foyer, the front door is locked, and she can hear the soft murmurs of ghostly voices all around her. Long shadows from flickering candlelight grow taller, stretching across the floor as the room darkens. A spectral figure with glowing eyes appears in the hallway, watching her intently. Sarah steps backward, her heart pounding as the shadowy figure drifts toward her. She finds herself in a narrow passage, the walls closing in, suffocating her as the whispers grow louder. Fleeing outside, she stumbles into the overgrown garden, the fog swirling at her feet as the shadows follow her. In the window of the mansion, the dark figure watches, its presence haunting even from a distance. As she runs, she trips over a broken garden bench, hearing a ghostly voice calling her name from the shadows. Even as she reaches the gates, the cold, eerie presence of the manor clings to her, refusing to let go. The fog thickens as Sarah steps beyond the gates, the shadows still following her every move. The ghostly figure reappears in the distance, this time closer, more menacing, enveloped in the swirling mist. The temperature drops further, the air heavy with the icy chill of the supernatural presence. Whispers surround her, carried on the cold wind, seeming to come from every direction. She spots an abandoned shed in the corner of the garden, dark and foreboding, offering no safety. As she reaches the shed, the dark figure blocks her path, its glowing eyes piercing the fog. The truth of the haunting begins to reveal itself as the figure's face materializes, distorted and horrifying. Blackthorn Manor looms in the background, its dark silhouette a reminder that its evil will never leave her.